You cannot walk 1,000 miles without taking the first step.
Warning, new arrival detected. Warning. Welcome, new arrival. You are the 4th new arrival detected in the past 10 hours. One further arrival recorded 32 hours ago.
Philip suddenly awakes to find himself in a strange structure. He looks around and finds strange stone mechanisms, as well as a pylon and a glowing orb. Philip does not yet know, but he is trapped in the Turngate tomb, particularly the Grey Rockworm Sun Tomb. After acquiring the orb, Philip discovers a glowing book lying on the ground.
Name, Elof Carpenter. Rank, elevated. Status, Code C, imprisoned. We were so close. And yet, following the release of the Turngate virus 9 months ago, my personal security has at last been compromised. Yesterday, an unfamiliar survivor arrived in the next door cell. It seems unlikely I will see him again. Name, Elof Carpenter. Rank, what does it matter? They came for me in the cell, just as I was recording my findings. I felt sure it was over. My cyanide capsule was dud. And then, I came to. In this place, this monolith. It's unlike anything we've found so far.
This strange message suggests that Elof, whom was presumed dead at the hands of the Turngate, has also previously explored this very location. Yet his message reveals little about what is really happening to Philip. Having received the distress call from Eleanor prior to her death, the Central Cast quickly assemble a team of trained archaic personnel to assess and contain the situation. The leader of this team is an operative named Jayla Kwon. She is put in charge of a team consisting of a dozen archaic operatives.
Agent 063, you and your squad have been chosen for Operation Bravo 03. You will soon arrive at the Shelter Research Station Greenland. Several days ago, we received a distress call claiming that the station had been attacked. We suspect xenoactivity. However, we lack details due to the elevated cast's reckless decision to withhold data from us. As such, you and your team are tasked with assessing the situation, as well as the recovery of any and all survivors.
Understood. So what's our latest intel?
The message claimed the existence of at least one survivor, possibly 2 others. You should expect hostiles.
Is that why you chose us? Because that catastrophe in Australia was not our fault.
Remember your place, Agent. This mission is of the highest importance to not only the Central Cast, but potentially for the safety of humanity. Don't take any unnecessary risk.
Shortly after the conversation, Jayla's team lands their helicopter on the shelter's helipad and begins securing the area around it. Meanwhile, Philip solves the puzzle that was keeping him in the tomb, which leads him to discover a portal that is powered by the orb he discovered. Without a second thought, he jumps in. The heart says, I want it, but logic says, you cannot have it. Eventually logic gives in, and imagination takes over. Philip finds himself in a new environment. This one resembling an underground complex. Perhaps it is part of the shelter. After dodging cameras and nearly drowning to death, Philip reaches a cafeteria just after finding a strange artifact. Jumping down, he hears a familiar voice.
Good day. Can you hear me? Well, I hope that your ears... 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 Well, I hope that...
Philip quickly checks the tape recorder, only to find there was no tape playing. Could that truly have been read? A few moments later, Philip finds a tape within a soda machine.
Patient, Dr. Eminis. Medical examiner, Dr. Eminis. Patient, that's me, reports disorientation and rash. I am infected, paranoia, oral distortion. Did I say that already? Patient had the most exhilarating out-of-body experience. I escaped reality. I feel good. Confounded findings in Dr. Swanson. There is a 79.55% probability it will lead to her death.
Dr. Eminis, a name that is all too familiar to Philip. Could he also be here? As the archaic team moves into the shelter and secures the area around the helipad, Jayla stays behind on her own to monitor communications.
Report number 3, arrival to the station. The landing was successful. Our eyes are still getting used to the darkness here, given the long flight surrounded by the snowy whiteness of ice storms. Despite the importance of our mission, we're not going to rush it, and first of all, we'll study whatever we can find with great care. The report which was sent to the cast said that this place is extremely dangerous. It's been about half an hour since the landing, and everything's going smoothly. We were looking for any signs of infected which were mentioned in the report, but didn't find anything, though something strange did happen. My duties include looking out for incoming distress signals and sending out radio messages about the presence of the rescue team at the station. When I was in our helicopter during the search for survivors, I was completely alone. Even the pilot went out to search. The freezing silence was interrupted only by rare radio signals. Suddenly, I had a strange feeling as if someone was constantly watching me. I began peering into the darkness, and when my eyes got used to it, I saw a strange silhouette of a person. Didn't look like any of my colleagues. I could make out neither the features nor the clothes, as if the light didn't fall on him at all. He just stood there, staring at me. The feeling of terror was so intense that it rendered me speechless for a second. Gathering all my strength, I shouted, "Who is this?" As soon as I did, the silhouette quickly disappeared into the darkness, and I have not seen him again. I doubt that it was someone's stupid joke, because after this incident, I didn't see any of my colleagues looking at me in a funny way. They still don't know about this incident. It's time to move on. Our goal is to reach the main hub of the shelter station. There we can find floor plans and keep track of those who are still alive. In any case, Arthur Sefton suggested not just closing a fence around the helicopter, but also powering it up in case one of the survivors finds the helicopter and decides to escape. We have to find everyone at the station and bring them to the cast. No one can get away. Jayla Kwon, Rescue Group Signalman, 2001.
Philip, being extremely confused by the situation playing out before him, decides to simply continue on. It isn't long before he hears something else.
Required key collection reduced to 1.
Good day, can you hear me? There is no time to explain. Well, in fact, time is one of the few things we have in abundance down here. What surprises are spoiled by such catty curiosity.
Ah, Philip, it is I, your friend, Dr. Eminence. Were you expecting somebody else? I already know that you'll come to find me, but I invite you all the same.
Dr. Eminence speaks within Philip's head, similar to how Clarence did, confirming that whatever is happening is not only real, but Dr. Eminence himself is aware of his presence. Previously, Dr. Eminence attacked Philip in the shelter, resulting in Philip locking him in the freezer, ultimately killing him. Yet here he is, alive or dead. Philip moves along and finds that he is seemingly condemned to a world of puzzle after puzzle. Truly a nightmare. In response to this, Philip does the logical thing and throws himself off a cliff. Philip does the logical thing and proceeds through the next portal. Truth is like a sculpture. One perspective is never enough for true understanding. Philip finds himself in wherever this is, and begins making his way through the senseless puzzles.
Infection, Philip, didn't drive me insane as it did you. Oh yes, I know about Clarence. I bonded with the Turngate on a different plane. It has its advantages. I know about you, about the universe, about God. But you know what else I know? I know what you did. I know you revealed the location of this facility.
It is clear that Dr. Eminence is no longer a man, but rather part of something greater. He reveals this to Philip, admitting that he has, or is in the process of integrating with the Turngate, which has granted him vast knowledge about the universe and even God. However, he is keenly aware of Philip's actions, including his message, in which he advocated for the destruction of the Turngate.
In the event of massive infection, shelter and archaic personnel are encouraged not to trust anyone but the elevated cast. In the event of massive infection, Shelter and Archaic personnel are encouraged not to trust anyone but Dr. Eminis.
Philip once again discovers a strange artifact, which he takes with him, because he can. One of Jayla's squad mates, her pilot, Paul C., informs her that he and the others have reached and secured the Archaic HQ complex. Jayla promptly makes her way there, but not before electrifying the fence to the helicopter. Upon her arrival, Paul C. informs her that they have made contact with a survivor. Her name is Amabel Swanson.
Report, who is this?
My name is Amabel. Amabel Swanson. May I know who you are?
I'm Jayla Kwon, and it seems me and my team are here to rescue you. Lucky for you.
How did you find this place? Who sent you?
We're local. One of our choppers received a distress call, and we traced it here. Are you alone?
Yes. Well, no, actually. There is another survivor. His name is Philip. He was close to my location right when it was compromised by the infected.
An infected?
Yes. You see, the location wasn't attacked by insurgents, but something else. A virus.
Could you elaborate?
About a year ago, we discovered an ancient tomb buried in the ground. Foolishly, we opened it. We believe the tomb contained an entity we call the Turngate. It wasted no time reacting to our presence and released a virus which wiped us out. Those who were infected still wander the halls. Avoid them. Kill them if they see you.
Thanks for the heads up. We'll be sure to keep our eyes out. Is the virus still at large?
Yes, we still don't fully understand it.
Sounds dangerous. Me and my team are at the Archaic HQ complex. We're gonna try and locate you.
A question can never truly be known. Agnosticism is the only answer. Philip now finds himself in a sewer, identical to the one Eleanor traversed on her way to Wilmar.
I recall your arrival, Philip. I recall you blindly wandering into the computer room, seeking my knowledge, unable to digest it. And yet, I do not recall how it all ended. Where is this memory hiding? Age of the universe 13.7 billion years, intelligence species 103, meaning of life negligible. But my own past is a mystery.
A key takeaway from this conversation is that Eminis does not remember his own death. Knowing what Philip knows, however, makes one wonder, is Philip dead as well?
Carpenter's elevated came here. I know the expanse of the universe, the a priori nature of time. You could see it too, were you not wrapped up in your own humanity. Artistic expression, free will, batting around your comforting fictional concepts like a toddler with a tennis racket.
Yes, that's much better. I say, though oft inconveniencing, there are certain abilities I've acquired in recent times that can be altogether rather useful. Regardless, I just wanted to check on you. You're really doing rather well for someone with only 90 minutes left to live. Of course, predetermined universe and all that. I already understand your outcome.
While Eminus rambles on about the downsides of being all-knowing, Philip manages to solve the sewer puzzle and proceeds to the next location. A friend is no more loyal than a mercenary. You pay your debts with kindness. Philip now finds himself on the surface of northern Greenland, in some sort of archaic storage area. He soon discovers that he is no longer affected by the cold. Simultaneously, he realizes that his flashlight no longer needs batteries. Moving along, Philip discovers another glowing book.
Name, Elof Carpenter. Status, Code C. Confused. Archaic recommendation. Regardless of my own outcome, it now seems essential to me that this environment be documented to the fullest degree. I somehow doubt anyone capable of finding the entrance to this place will ever find the exit. But my responsibilities cannot falter.
Level exit open. Level exit open.
Now, my friend, our time is at an end. Time itself, in fact, has an end none too far in the future. At least for you. Perhaps someone else will take your hand and guide you the rest of the way.
And with that, Dr. Eminus says farewell to Philip, presumably moving on to become one with the Turngate, and by that, becoming one of the many whispers we have heard. Philip pretends that he cares, as he quickly moves on through the next portal. A puppy is not just for Christmas. It is also for when it is freshly rolled in its own feces. Now, Philip finds himself in whatever this place is supposed to be. Anyway, he continues on through the increasingly mind-numbing puzzles.
Yet another strange phenomenon. I have a feeling like being watched, only less direct, as if someone were listening to my thoughts. Yes, that's right! I hear you there, breathing, siphoning off my every notion like some perverted guardian angel. How are you in my head? Where are you? Show yourself!
Elof, having been in this place before Philip, is clearly losing his grip on reality, yet he seems determined that someone or something has been watching him since he entered this place. But who? Philip doesn't wait to find out, and soon discovers a familiar-looking radio, which he picks up.
Good day? Good day. Can you hear me? There is no time. Red's humor has not faded along with his pulse. The trick was played, and your mind flashed that it was but another final record. And yet it is I, Red, your faithful companion, returned not just for Christmas, but wholesale for the foreseeable...
At last, Red has revealed himself to Philip. He too is trapped in this labyrinth since his death. Unlike the others, he seems to be content with his current situation. Jayla gains access to the surveillance systems and is able to locate Dr. Swanson.
Paul, I'm sending you and 3 others to retrieve Dr. Swanson. She appears to be in the morgue.
Wonderful. They never choose the pleasant locals for us.
Just remember, we need her alive. Keep our mission a secret. I want to get this done quick. You know how patient the central cast is.
I've looked over the map to this place, and I think we can reach her going through the storage area to the infirmary. From there, we can access the morgue.
Excellent. Tell the others to be on alert. Good luck.
Don't ask, don't get. By now, the environments no longer resemble anything man-made, almost as if they are from a different dimension entirely. While solving the puzzles remains the focus here, Philip soon discovers another glowing book.
Madness and madmen. That seems to be all this place holds. Tom Redwood. I remember that name from somewhere. He contacted me on a radio I don't remember picking up, talking gibberish, threatening me. I would rather die than end up like him. Do you hear me, ghosts? I won't let you take me alive!
While the story is not yet over for Philip, Elof's part to play within it has ended, for his soul is condemned to the madness of wandering the halls of Requiem forever. Philip continues onward without any issues whatsoever. Alright, come on. We can do this. Yeah, come on. No! Anyway, as he pushes forward, he catches several glimpses of orange eyes watching him from the shadows. These belong to Elof Carpenter, as he will never be able to leave this cell within Requiem.
Like a good apple pie, he crumbled to the floor. And that, my friend, is how I returned to this place. A 6-foot-tall and twisty tale, I'm sure you will agree. Comparable in heroism only to the greatest rescue of all, that of Red by Philip. And yet, when last we met, you kissed away my advice as you might a freshly soiled child in need of a spanking. Why would you come to this place when you had all the wee rats you could domesticate, and Red's low-maintenance subterranean empire to inherit? Why? Why?
Red expresses his joy in seeing Philip again, but at the same time grieving over his decision to have entered the shelter despite his pleas. Philip says nothing as he makes his way to the next portal.
Where am I? Can you hear me still? He promised me death, the madman, and I refused. My own life was the one thing I thought I could control. Do not make the same mistake as I, for I am trapped here. Eternal darkness.
Paul C. and a couple operatives make their way to the cells and locate Edmund and Winston on their way to Amabel's location.
Jayla, come in. We have a situation.
Copy. What happened?
We're almost to the infirmary, but we found 2 survivors in a cell. They identified themselves as Edmund Frey and Winston Egbert. They claim to be archaic employees.
Interesting. Bring them in. We'll take them to the central cast for interrogation.
Negative. Something isn't right about them. Both claim they've had the same conversation already. They also seem rather agitated, even for men confined to a cell.
We really can't take any unnecessary risks. We still have to locate Dr. Swanson, as well as this Philip she mentioned.
Should we leave him?
Negative. Take him out.
Copy that.
Which is more likely, that the irrevocable laws of the universe have been broken, or that you are somehow mistaken?
are such good and lasting friends, you and I, that I cannot stay, if the pun is pardonable, mad. It is because we are such good friends that I will not break you as I did the boring Alof before. We shall escape this place, you and I. Either that or be locked here forever. Personally, I have little preference.
Upon hearing Red speak of an escape, Philip is immediately on board, as anything beats solving illogical puzzles for all of eternity. After terminating the 2 infected survivors, Paul C. and his team move further into the shelter, passing the infirmary and reaching the morgue. Before they can enter, they are suddenly attacked by an unseen entity, and in the chaos, a single team member gets separated in the morgue. Philip continues traversing Requiem, all the while discovering furnaces identical to the ones Eleanor activated on her way to Amabel.
Two minds are better than one, they say. Yet my half a mind is better than two. The mind boggles. Together our one and a half minds could rule the world. Red would most likely settle for a quiet place to take a nap, you understand. But choosing is best kept for beggar. It will be upon us. There will be a banquet of rats, the finest champagne, hands will be patted and backs vigorously shook. This will most likely take place in old Red Mine, you understand. But glorious it will be all the same.
As if Philip hasn't done this 7 times already, he solves the Labyrinth's puzzle, and then proceeds to the 9th cell.
Player, your journey is almost at an end. Please don't leave me here alone.
Paul and his team finally return to the Archaic HQ and inform Jayla of their failure to reach Amabel. Jayla quickly makes contact with Amabel over the network.
Dr. Swanson, listen, unfortunately the team can't reach you in your current location. I'll try and find another route.
Don't bother. I hear something crawling around out there. I'm gonna make a run for it when I get the chance.
I wouldn't advise that. We can still get to you.
I tried waiting twice. It didn't work out. If I make it out, I'll find a way to contact you. Wish me luck.
No, wait.
After telling Jayla that she will make her way to them, Amabel travels through the shelter and eventually reaches the storage area. Truth is the census of opinion. The next cell Philip finds himself in is a recreation of the shelter's lower levels. It serves as the final barrier between himself and Red. Philip is ready for this to be over as he makes his way through the final cell. Sometime during these events, a family friend of Joe Freeman's, whose name is unknown, sets out with a group of volunteers in an attempt to find Joe. As fate would have it, they stumble upon an entrance to the mine. Unknown to them, they have walked right into Site B. They quickly stir the inhabitants and are forced to flee deeper into the mines. They eventually locate Red's office and the incinerator room, where they discover his ashes. The expedition is soon attacked once more, and flees towards Site A, finding a connection between Site A and B. With the inhabitants in close pursuit, the fate of the expedition remains unknown.
Agent 063, what's your status on the mission?
We've been able to locate one survivor and we're attempting to reach her, and we have another one MIA.
Has the survivor been identified?
Her name is Amabel Swanson. She hasn't revealed her rank, but I suspect she's a scientist due to the insight she was able to share with us.
Elaborate.
She revealed the station was attacked by a virus created by some alien intelligence. She claimed it was called the Turngate.
Find Dr. Swanson and get her out of the shelter. I want answers.
She did also mention another survivor, said his name was Philip.
I don't want any loose ends. Find and secure both of them. There is no room for error.
There won't be an error.
At last, Philip makes his way to a familiar-looking cave-in. He knows what he has to do.
My congratulations, dear boy. You arrived. You will find your escape now. Your friend is well chosen. Insanity, after all, is rare in individuals. Only in humanity as a whole is it the rule. Nietzsche. I will remain here.
Oh God, no.
This half-place continues to be the only challenge to my knowledge. May you enjoy your fate, Philip. What is left of it?
Philip finds a familiar room. It's Red's office. At that very moment, he immediately realizes where Red is waiting for him.
Like the Eminis, I too am versed in poetry of the mind, and I am well chosen indeed. for there is some madness in my love and some reason in my madness. Yet I cannot help but feel unprepared. The banquet is only half-baked, the rats are only but partially squeezed, and you find me once more within this metal burning chamber. But the chamber, like the banquet, is of the mind. The only way out of it is within it. I have knocked on death's door many times before, but the both of us will this time be taking tea. It is only through pain that we know we are alive, and this time, my friend, the pain must end. Would you return to the world from which you came, drown in the chitter-chatter? For Red's answer is no. Better to have a story and end it than never to realize it has begun.
It is here that Red at last reveals his plan to Philip. His plan of escape never involved returning to the world from whence they came, but rather by embracing death itself from within the incinerator. Red presents Philip with a choice to join him within the incinerator, or to leave him behind and continue on in Requiem, hoping to find an escape.
And now, my friend, I leave the ending up to you. Make your choice.